Hey, everybody, you're watching and listening to the We Are Rizin podcast. Andrew, your host here with us, Mike from Ohio. How you doing, Mike?
What's going on, Andrew? I'm doing good. How about you?
A little under the weather, but I could be worse. I could be vomiting my insides, or I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of a movie where they're like all like where their insides are like ripping out and all that stuff. Was it Video Draw?
It could always be like Beavis and Butthead Do America after that experimental weapon with that.
Oh yeah. Not that bad, but a little under the weather, but surviving. I am surviving.
I think something that was the only thing that came to mind.
I gotcha. But we're talking about better things today. We're talking about Rizin 47. We're going to preview the card shortly, but there was a little bit of Rizin news that we're going to get into. So let's talk about that stuff first. David Feldman and Sakaki Bar are both on the MMA Hour with Ariel Helwani, which Dave Feldman kept calling Sakaki Bar Saki Gabora, which he kept calling Saki Gabora, which made me laugh all the time. And they already had announced the partnership apparently years ago, but I guess now it's more official. So, what do you think of the news and the announcements, Mr. Mike?
I'm intrigued by it because one, it gives Rizin more roster depth. It gives a lot of their fighters who may not be great at MMA, like say Kohei Hagiwara, maybe Kohei Tokeshi, amongst others, the opportunity, or maybe some other kickboxers. I know Tatsuki Shinotsuka has beat bare knuckle, of course, at Rizin 46 and looked awesome doing it. And then there's other kickboxers, like maybe Rukia Ampo could do it one day, Kimura, Buakao, maybe if they bring him back anytime soon. I think that it gives your roster more options. You can bring new fighters in. You could potentially build new stars that way, and it gives you more fights to fill out a card. It gives you a different flavor compared to just kickboxing and MMA. I'm very much in favor of it.
So I have other theories why they're partnering with BKFC Rizin. UFC will never happen.
Of course.
Never. This Bellator PFL thing I don't think is really even a partnership. It's more like Rizin can call if they need to replace somebody, or Bellator can call if they need somebody to replace. I don't think it's like this. They may have that show on New Year's Eve together, but I think for the most part that I don't think it's the partnership that it was under Scott Coker.
No, I was going to start to interrupt, Andrew.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, as long as they keep exchanging fighters, I think that's fine. I think that's what you really expect at this point with PFL, who are trying to establish themselves in general.
Mm. Yeah.
So it's fine. It's still, in my mind, that's still a partnership. It's just not as, literally, it's not the 5-on-5 from New Year's Eve a couple of years ago.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So we don't even know what's going to be established Bellator next year. So yeah, who knows? So I think this is more of them trying to get into a promotion that's on the up and up. I think it's fair to say that BKFC is on the up and up. They're the talk of combat sports town. Connor's there. Mike Perry is there. I'm forgetting the other guy. Who's the one that everybody loves? That's also I guess Eddie Alvarez. I guess he's still official with them as well.
I think he is.
They got crazy women fighters as well. So yeah.
John Dodson.
Oh yeah, John Dodson. Yeah. John Dodson as well, who's also with Rizin. So yeah, it definitely is benefiting. It also would be great to kind of get some of those those fighters. Maybe the BKFC fighters can do some MMA in Rizin. Because let's be honest, there's some fighters I don't want to see go to BKFC. I don't want to see Juntaro Hushiko be doing any BKFC stuff, or I don't know, Kleber doing any BKFC. I don't think that would be
Hagiwara.
Yeah, it'll be great for some fighters, but they're gonna have to pick and choose which ones to do.
Also, I was gonna say, if I remember reading on Gong Kartogi that Rukia Ampo wanted to fight Kaita. So I'm just saying, like, he had talked
about. Ampo has to wait a while because his ankle's broken. I think he broke his arm, maybe. Yeah.
The only reason I brought it up is because we should transition into Super Rizin announcements. The guess about that, but that was something that he had thought about asking Sakakibara, but of course he's hurt. But he brought that up.
Yeah. So like, in addition to that, I mean, okay, also let's just say it right now. They announced 2 fights: John Dodson versus Takagi Soya, non-title obviously, and then Ty Emery versus, I don't even remember the girl's name, Charissa Segura, I think her name is. Which is like that, both for Super Rizin 3, and like that fight just kind of like stands out. It's gonna stand out like among like the rest of the that card. Yeah, you got Shinosuke, who's fighting next month at Pachenga, at the Pachenga Hall,
July 12th.
I think so. Yeah. I don't know his opponent, but my guess is probably it's another easy guy that he's expected to beat or should beat. So yeah, we got a little bit of a partnership, like a legitimate partnership going on. So let's see how it goes. And also, BKFC said that they're going to be doing their own shows in Japan. So I'm sure Bara, Shingo are gonna like let them know, like, oh, you could best to do it here, you know, and stuff. They're probably gonna do it at Kurikan Hall, I think. I don't know where else. Maybe Shinkiba,
or maybe would Yoyogi Gymnasium 2 be too ambitious?
I think that might be too ambitious for like their first show that they're running by themselves potentially. I think, you know, just do Kurikan. It's the safest arena to do. It's just like so easy to get to. You know that, I know that. Just, you know, BKFC should be just. I would have no problem. They just did shows at Kurikan.
Mm-hmm.
Just
great.
Yeah. And Reaper Jones, good to see you. Luke Zimmerman says that PFL Rise is a much more mundane partnership now. Ichi says free ensign. That's a free ensign, poor ensign. That's go look that up if you don't know what that is. If that's even about. And then Mike Perry. If Mike Perry, I know he has he's got rap sheets. If he can, I don't know. That's a possibility. If a possibility, but we have to see if he can get through the immigration first. Ampo BKFC, maybe, yeah, when he heals up potentially. Or Rizin bare knuckle, yeah. I think the other thing is also that I don't know how many of these fighters are going to want to do it. I know, like, I think some people were speculating before they announced Suzuya. Oh, maybe Dodson versus Kyoji. I think some of the Japanese fighters might see bare knuckle beneath them. I don't see like a Kyoji wanting to do that.
No, but unless the money was really good.
Yeah. So, you know, unless if Feldman is breaking the bank, you know, well, I don't know if he's paying in dollars, then it's probably more than what the yen is worth now potentially. Yeah. Right. Bara's 5 announcements. Sakagi Bara said that during the intermission of Rizin 47, there's gonna be 5 fight announcements or at least 5 announcements for Super Rizin 5. I'll just quickly go over my things. Unfortunately, probably Manny Pacquiao, but I don't know against who. I don't really care. I think Fat Ninja's been posting a lot of workout videos and he's sweating a lot, so maybe he's getting ready for that weight cut early for something. Potentially Sudario, because I saw that Sudario had visited Bara's office recently. And yes, Hagiwara was my other one as well. And my 5th, probably they're going to announce the rest of the shows for the rest of this year, I'm guessing, up until New Year's potentially. What do you think? Any predictions for those 5 announcements?
I'm gonna of course, Manny Pacquiao. I'm just gonna take a guess. I think it'll be either Minoru Kimura or the winner of Takanori Gomi Chihiro Suzuki in knockout later this month. That's just a guess. I have no clue. I think those would be the 2 most viable options. My second one would be if Kai leaves for UFC. That and also a vacant bantamweight title fight, maybe between, I would say, Solchu Kim and Naoki Inoue.
You're not the only person who said that Kai thing. I'm like, I don't
know. Because of what's happened for Horiguchi.
I'm gonna just be blunt. That's like a cock thing to do. Announcing one of your biggest fighters is going UFC's competition. I'm sorry, I don't know how they are competition.
It is.
And saying, they're going to UFC. I just think if that happens, that's just gonna blow my mind. Like UFC would never do that.
No.
Bellator would never do that. And even back then when it was owned by Coker, PFL would. Oh my God! I get it for LFA. If LFA deep, they do that. Pancreas makes no sense. I mean, it just I just don't understand why. It's not some you're losing your second biggest star. It shouldn't be
leaving.
If it's a farewell party, if it's a farewell thing maybe or announce. If it's his final, I don't also want him to just leave and not defend that belt. I think that's a really shitty thing to do. There should be at least defend your belt once at Super Rizin 3 or something. Then
should be him versus Naoki. That's
the fight that they tried 1,000 times, and that if they even try to book it again, it will never happen because one of them is going to get injured. Mm-hmm. One of them's the wind's going to blow and Kai's fingers will fall off or something.
Yeah. And then maybe Fat Ninja in a welterweight title fight.
I don't know about title fight, but perhaps I think he maybe they're going to try that Kichi Kunamoto fight again.
I was thinking that, or maybe something at middleweight.
Potentially middleweight. Maybe just to be safe, but he looks like he's sweating on that treadmill. So I think he's going to try to make welterweights. He's going to try to make welterweight again. So we'll have to wait and see.
And then the other two, I'm thinking maybe something with Reina because Izawa, I believe it was supposed to be Seika, Izawa, and Reina, and I think Seika got hurt.
Yes, something happened. She broke her. No, Drake's the one who told us who broke it on the Discord. Yeah, she injured her leg, knee, something. Unfortunately, another fight that should have happened, but didn't happen because Reina got injured the last time. Now Seika got injured, and I'll tell you the truth. I'm kind of over that. I just would rather see Seika versus Oshima at this point.
Yeah, but I mean that won't happen because of the reasons we've already said and all that.
Yeah,
but maybe why not do a Reina Claire Lopez rematch?
Well, Claire is actually going to be fighting on Combate Global coming up, so I don't think that's going to be possible.
She had already fought on Combate Global, but I guess not.
No. She just put on her Instagram or her face, whatever. That she's got I forgot who she's facing, but it's nobody who I know.
And the fifth one, maybe if it's Sudario or maybe Hagiwara fighting, maybe that would be something that would grab attention.
Yeah. I did see some speculation, potentially maybe a breaking down fighter as well. The guy who beat Yushi has been getting a lot of buzz. Jolly.
Yeah. What about Yura?
I don't think Yura. No. I think because.
What about the guys from who won that one tournament? The guy that beat Yamaniha, the kid that beat Yamaniha.
Oh yeah, that guy. He's the JTT guy. I think, right? Oh, I forgot his name, but well, they just for him a big announcement. I don't think they would do that.
I thought he was supposed to be on the Super Rizin 3 card.
Oh, is he? I don't know. I didn't know that. So him against Jolly? You mean him against Jolly?
Maybe. I mean, I was just gonna say. I thought the winner of that tournament was supposed to get a guaranteed slot at Super Rizin. I thought that's.
I don't know. So Jolly, after he knocked out Yushi, he when the mic said, "Hey Mikuru, can you tell Bara to give me a fight on Super Rizin 3?" And he specifically said Joe Hiramoto, Ren's brother.
Yeah, Ren's brother Joe, who did pretty good against Yushi, all things considered.
So maybe that will be announced as well.
That would be like a nice undercard fight if they're gonna 12 year.
I think because also if you get a breaking down guy. And by the way, my buddy Isha back watching us, appreciate it. Thank you so much. So I think they want to try to at least get one. Well, they already have Hiroya, but I think he's way past breaking down at this point. I think they want to try to get a new breaking down guy who's got who's got who's going on the up and up. Yeah, yeah.
Because there are a few of them in Breaking Down. Because like it or not, that's still the biggest combat sports thing in Japan. Right?
Supposedly, they this was from Jim Ozeki. He said that they made $20 million in revenue on that on the most recent Breaking Down show.
That doesn't surprise me because of sponsorships, pay-per-view.
Well, I also don't know if he meant 20 million yen, because this is the problem, is that a lot of these things, they confuse the yen and the dollars.
Yeah.
So if it's 20 million yen, that's still like a lot, and that's nothing to,
No, nothing to sneeze at. And I don't know if the bubble will burst anytime soon, but
no, it's not. The prelims had like 3 million people watching it.
I think it would be it's good for both Rizin and for Breaking Down to collaborate, like a symbiotic relationship.
Oh yes, oh yeah, absolutely. It is the most interesting promotion going down. Let's get into Rizin 47 now. Before we do, we always do poster check. Now let me do my thing. Let me do my screen share. I always forget how to do this shit. Let's see, screen share, and we're gonna see the poster. There we are. Screen share, poster. Let's see if we can see. Yes, there it is. Thoughts of the poster.
Oh, that's nice. That is slick. I'm not sure if that's a Pride design from Pride or Dream, but yeah, it's just.
Yeah, they reuse a lot of the kind of iconography. Mm-hmm. That's nothing wrong with that. I don't see anything wrong with that. That's fine.
No, it's just seeing that sword in the middle and then everyone in the fighting poses. That's awesome.
I actually think this is maybe one of their weaker posters, to tell you the truth. I feel like they've done this. I feel like this design has been done before. I mean, for Rizin.
It may have.
I don't know, just compared to like the 146 with the butterfly. I don't know. This it's not bad. I'm not gonna say it's bad, but I think this is one of the weaker ones in that Rizin has done this year. It just the sword in the middle is cool, but I'm kind of seems like they try to put as many of the fighters on the poster as possible, which is fine. But I like that 46 poster so much with the butterfly. I like that stuff. But I'll still give it a thumbs up. Thumbs up?
Oh, absolutely. I gave it 2 thumbs up.
Okay, I'll give it 1 thumbs up in that case.
How about
anyway?
1?
So we're gonna be talking Rizin 47. We're gonna start from the bottom up as we always do, and the first fight will be Kazuki Tokudome versus Sho Patrick Usami. Actually, before we start, Mike, I just want to ask. Remind myself. We got 9 fights. We got 9 fights. 1 kickboxing. The rest are MMA. What do you think about this being a number show and it being 9 fights total? Are you happy with that? Would you have liked some more? Are you crazy like Jill Wolf and 100? Should there have been less? What are your thoughts?
I'm in the middle. I think 9 to 12 is fine as long as they're good fights and this card is stacked. So if it has a high quality co-main, like the top of the card is really strong, which it is. I don't think you need to fight a bunch of fights for the sake of having a bunch of fights. I think this is a very strong card overall, so it's fine.
I think the best way to put it is quality over quantity. There's no regional guys. There's no 0-3 versus 9-0. These feel like evenly. I feel like that there's legitimate that. Yeah. These fights, well, other than 1, maybe 2, I think a lot of these fights are kind of like, it could go either way.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I would have thought that they might have had maybe 2 or 3 opening fights, just like they usually do for these types of things, but they don't. So no big deal.
Yeah. Let's get to it. First fight, Kazuki Tokudome after a 3-year layoff, taking on Sho Patrick Usami. So if you want to know what happened to Kazuki Tokudome, he apparently got a job at the Hachioji City Hall and was doing that as a Silver Servant, was doing that for the last 3 years, and decided he wanted to come back to MMA. So, interesting way to lay off, and then come back. Now he's taking on a guy who's a knockout artist and who would have been on road to UFC had he not botched his weight cut really badly. So, Mike, what do you think about this fight? How do you think this will go?
I think this is a really good one. It's going to be a nice little test for Usami, depending on how much Tokudome has left, if the layoff doesn't affect him. And it's been over 3 years. Last fight was against Satoshi, I want to say it was.
Yes, and Satoshi just walked right through him.
And then Usami is coming off, I believe, 2 losses. One in MMA to Kyung-pyo Kim. I forgot what Rizin it was last April, and then he lost at the in a kickboxing match against Rukia Ampo at 44, the one that I went to. I thought he did decent there, but he still lost handily. So he's got something to prove too. And Tokudome, obviously better grappler. Usami's a hell of a striker, especially he's got excellent hand speed and one-punch power, as we saw with when he knocked out BeyNoah with that one left hook. Face planted him, knocked him out, 40 seconds, whatever it was, New Year's Eve 22. So Usami can finish this at any moment. It's going to depend on whether he can stop the takedowns and if Tokudome can get him down and is a good enough grappler to submit him. If not, Patrick is going to walk through it otherwise.
So here's the thing I'm considering. 3-year layoff. Let me see. Is that 3 years?
Yes.
Yeah, that's 3 years plus. That's over 3.5 years almost. So that's a long time for a layoff. I mean, there's always 2 types of layoffs. You have like when Kane came back from his back surgery, and then his opponent was Francis Ngannou, and then we all remember how that went. And then you have like Dominic Cruz when he took on Mizugaki, I believe, and he just after that, after all those ACL surgeries, comes back and just steamrolls him, just blitzes him. I don't know. I know that I don't even think of Tokudome as like this world-class grappler.
No, but he's solid.
Yeah, and it's funny that this guy it's funny that he had a UFC run where he did not. Oh, he won one fight. I'm sorry. He did not have a good run at all. It's very hard for me to see. I mean, yes, that's how he can win. But man, listen, like they say, fights start on the feet. They don't start on the ground. Yes. So I don't, lay off. Don't know how, is he, does he have that muscle memory that knows how to take a punch, especially from somebody like a Patrick Usami who's knocked out all but one of his opponents? It's very hard for me to see how Tokudome can just kind of come back and face somebody. I could almost, to be honest, it was like an all-rounder. But like with just how good of a puncher Usami is, I can't see this going in Tokudome's favor. I think Usami is gonna send him to the canvas in the first round.
I do too. But I'm just saying that if Tokudome can get it to the ground, I don't know if he can. We'll see.
Oh no, if he can, I think though that Kim, who tapped him out, obviously is a much better grappler. So I don't think Tokudome has that pedigree of grappling. So I can't, I'm gonna say that I just don't see it going in his favor, unfortunately, especially with that 3-year layoff. That's a very, that is, I hope he does his best. I'll say that.
Yeah, I mean it's a litmus test. I know it's a 3-year layoff, but he's still a solid veteran, and it's a nice little test for Usami, especially coming off a loss where he was beaten handily.
Yeah, I gotcha. So, but my official pick, Usami, first round knockout. Yes. Oh, and by the way, if any of you bet or anything, don't blame me if you lose or anything. Take it at your own risk or whatever. Anyway, next fight. Before these, I believe will be the only 2 free fights on YouTube, whatever. Genji Umeno versus Fullswing in a kickboxing fight with open finger gloves and elbows. I'll be honest, I think this fight is an anomaly on this card that has pretty much a stacked list of fights that are interesting. I've never been an Umeno fan. He's he had a fight last year apparently, and I don't even remember that fight at all. So
Rizin Nagoya.
yeah, that was the one that's the one where he like where his entrance got messed up or something. I think, right?
I think that's actually part of his gimmick, the Yavai.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he has not been one of my favorite kickboxers to watch. And then taking on Fullswing Uoi, remember Uoi? Yeah, who's an MMA fighter who's not on a good streak right now. Let's see that streak, 4-fight losing streak. And his one kickboxing fight, he got knocked down. He got destroyed by Kon Nakamura. Yeah. What are your thoughts on this? Because mine will be terse.
Long story short, Umeno should knock him out pretty quickly.
That's the thing. I don't even know if Umeno can knock him out. I think Umeno can just out kickbox him for 3 rounds, and it's just gonna be, yeah. Umeno's never been like a knockout artist, so I don't know what to expect from this fight at all. It's not one I'm looking forward to. Thank God this one is free. Thank God.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun. Just the rule set. I do like Fullswing doesn't seem like he has much of a chin left, and he has no defense anyway. So he'll get hit regularly.
Yeah, mean booking for Fullswing 1-9 in his last 10 fights. Absolutely. This is like, I don't know. I don't even know like the thought process behind how this was formed, this fight, because I'm just like, was it like did they have like on like their agenda a kickboxing fight, and then like suddenly when they're about to announce the card, they're like, oh wait, we forgot their kickboxing fight. Who we call who will say yes? Fullswing will always say yes, and probably Umeno as well. So yeah, because Umeno hasn't done anything for Rise in quite a while. Yeah, I hate to pick Umeno, but I just see Umeno just winning this by however.
Yeah, I have Umeno by knockout in the second round.
Okay, now past the trash, we're going to go on to an interesting fight. Johnny Case making his return, taking on BeyNoah in what is undoubtedly a punishment fight for how BeyNoah fought against Inoue in his last fight. So, what do you think about this?
1, yes, it is a punishment, and 2, outside of a potential, possible perfect shot, BeyNoah is going to get his ass kicked.
Did you see the press conference or hear about the press conference that BeyNoah was at, and they were reading all the mean comments that people wrote on YouTube or social media, saying how much BeyNoah sucks?
Yeah, I did. I felt bad for him, but it's like, dude, you had all that training. I believe it was what, AKA?
Yeah.
And you fight like that? Yeah, I don't have much sympathy for him.
Isn't that so funny that Rizin has the balls to do something like that? You would never, like, people like the UFC, like they'll show like footage of Conor breaking a bus window with a gate. That's as far as like but like I don't know, like have they ever openly shit on a fighter like that?
Gabby Garcia.
No, UFC.
No, they have maybe at press conferences, but not.
I know Dana has. He said like, "Oh, this fight sucks," but like, yeah. I'm trying to think if like they ever did a thing where they. Sorry.
Not on air, I don't think.
No. I'm just trying to think of like, yeah, I can't think of like that's just ballsy. It's funny as well that they, and also that BeyNoah, like I'm assuming he knew what he was getting into, and he was like, okay, yeah, I deserve this shit. Well, here's the thing. Do you think BeyNoah has any chance in this fight?
Yeah, I mean, he certainly has the power and the skill on the feet to knock Case out, but his takedown defense, I don't think, is anywhere near, or grappling is nowhere near good enough, I think, for someone of Case's caliber, unless Johnny's completely shot.
The LMJVG, I think Anderson Silva, was that the Damian Maia fight? I remember that because that was one of the first shows of the modern UFC I actually watched live at a bar. I remember that. Yeah, that was the one that Dana didn't even come in to give the belt to Silva. And of course, you say Francis, yeah, that's the other thing. Following Star has a question: do you think that PFL and Rizin or PFL and Rizin card have a more likely chance to happen if this BKS thing really becomes really successful? Nope. I don't. I mean, I don't think. Again, I think this thing with PFL is not an official relationship. It's more when they need a fighter. They're just going to call Rizin and be like, "Hey, can you guys supply us with a fighter to book for us?" We'll have to wait and see how we'll have this December 31st show, this New Year's Eve show, if it's going to even be a collaboration show.
Basically, it's a you scratch my back, I scratch yours.
Yeah, that's fine. We even before, remember Jake Kuhn, when he got eliminated from the PFL, he went to Rizin. And I don't know if you need to ask PFL for permission for that. I know I'm trying to think who's the other. There was another fighter. Johnny Case was also supposed to be in PFL and then went to Rizin as well. So yeah, it's been happening for a while. But I don't see PFL. There maybe we'll get one more PFL Bellator show, but I don't know if there's going to be PFL/Bellator Rise in the future. It just doesn't seem to be in what they want to do as a promotion. No. Exchanging fighters, calling somebody, another promotion, asking, "Hey, can you send us a fighter?" is not collaboration. Like you said, scratch my back, scratch yours. That's kind of what businesses do sometimes. That doesn't mean that they're working together. Just means that
you have a good relationship. That's all, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. And I forgot Quentin Rampage's Jackson as well. Thank you for LMJV for that. Luke Zimmerman, Dana White ripped into Uriah Hall after he fought Anderson Silva back in 2020 on the ESPN post show. Okay, I don't have ESPN Plus, so I never saw that. So, okay, that's interesting. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Yeah, BeyNoah has a puncher's chance. He's still got that good striking. If he fights like he did against Inoue, then he's gonna lose. The fight's over the minute the bell rings. But I just even with all that kickboxing experience that he has, I think Johnny Case is just better everywhere. He had better MMA striking. If he wants to take it down to the ground, and he can win that way as well with submissions. Johnny Case is not afraid to make a fight dirty, and I mean by striking in that case. So yeah, I think. Sorry,
I was also say BeyNoah also has a weak chin.
Yes. Oh, he didn't get to showcase it that much in the Inoue fights. So, but yeah, that when Case hits you, it's gonna hurt, and he's gonna cut you.
Kaito stretched him in 30, 40 seconds, whatever it was.
Yeah, something like that.
A couple years ago.
Yeah. Kobe Day says, "Why waste a Case fight on BeyNoah? Because BeyNoah must be punished for boring the audience at Rizin 46." So that's why it must be he must be punished. Now, here's the thing though, if he does win, I don't know what you do with BeyNoah, but if he does win, give him maybe a little bit more of an easier fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've seen sometimes back in the Pride days, if I remember correctly, there were times where I have an example. K1 World Max. I think there was some issue with Kid Yamamoto and K1 management back in, I want to say it was 2005, 2006. They booked him in a kickboxing fight with, of all people, Mike Zambadis.
Yeah. That reminds me when K1, I don't know what the impetus behind it was when they had Don Fry take on JLB.
Yes. Oh, the Shockwave 2000, Dynamite 2002. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't remember. Was that part of a tournament or was that a one-off?
That was a one-off because it was Pride versus K1.
Okay. I don't want to say that Pride was trying to punish John Fry. I don't think they were, but that is as much of a punishment fight, unconsciously, that you could have done, unfortunately. But yeah, this is Johnny Case's fight to win. I think to be honest, I don't think it goes beyond the first round.
Yeah, I agree. I think Case submits him first round.
And here's the other thing as well. I know that BeyNoah doesn't want to do kickboxing, but man, that K1 tournament, I think I would love to see him in that. Yeah. But I think they already started it. So his weight class, Was it 70K or 55K?
70K, 55K with Kaneko and Kimura and a few others.
Yeah. And by the way, also as well, this one I am not counting this as an American versus American fights. This is an American versus Japanese fights. I don't care what anybody says. Let me see on the next docket. Okay, yes. So next up, we got two returning fighters. Karshyga Dautbek taking on Tetsuya Seki. Dautbek has been on a fucking tear lately. I don't know if you've seen his. Let me get his fucking record up.
It's 14-3, I think, 6-fight winning streak.
Yeah, he's finished all of his fights, I believe, in the first round. Let's double check on that.
Yeah, and I just saw I saw the Koyomi Matsushima, I believe it was.
Yes, for
at top right's one. That was a good performance by him. He can, I can't pronounce his name, but he can punch.
Oh yes,
he can punch.
It's so funny that his first fight was in 2018 against Mikuru, and the thing I remember about that fight is that Mikuru had him in an arm triangle choke, and he couldn't even finish it. And that's when I realized, oh my god, Mikuru has really bad grappling. The fact that he couldn't finish, pretty much, I don't want to say it's an easy move, but like he had it in correctly, but he just didn't know how to pressure right. Anyway,
also against a green Karshyga Dautbek.
Yeah, I'd stand corrected. He's finished all but one of his fights. He had lost his fight after that, and then he went on. And then he didn't fight for a while because what is he on? 2019, 2020. Oh yeah, he definitely he didn't. After that loss, it was like almost 1 year layoff, probably because of the pandemic. No, wait, that was before the pandemic because that's February 20. And then after that was a 1 year layoff because of the pandemic, and then he's just going through everybody now. And if you want to see his fight on Top Rights, you can find it on YouTube because they upload all the fights from Top Rights.
It was a great, excellent performance.
Oh, yes. And Tetsuya Seki, Yokohama fighter from Sonic Squad. He's not one of the most exciting fighters. Sorry?
He's a solid fighter, good technical striker.
Here's the thing, like I think he's good. The problem is I think he's good when he fights people who are, I know this is gonna sound weird to say, but are below his level. He doesn't do well against people that are either better strikers than him or better grapplers than him. And I think that I think that they're going to. I think that Dautbek is going to just annihilate him in every which way but one. I don't see how Seki can. There's nothing that he can do to win this fight, in my personal opinion, other than like I don't know, lucky punch.
See, I'm not gonna say. I think Seki is better technically, and Dautbek doesn't have great defense, so Seki could.
Here's the other problem with Seki. Sorry to interrupt you, Mike, but there's another problem with Seki. Seki is a slow starter. Yeah. If you watch his fight, that can be bad against somebody like Dautbek, who is not a slow starter.
He falls to the walls he's hell on wheels for 15 minutes.
Yes. So that does not also that is not going to go in Seki's favor.
No, but I'm saying but if he starts faster and he can he can survive the initial onslaught, I do think he can potentially outwork Dautbek.
I don't think he can. I think Dautbek's striking is great now. I think it's powerful. It's precise. And
a bit wild against Matsushima, actually.
Sorry?
I thought he was a bit wild, to be honest.
A bit wild, yeah. Also, if he need, like, I don't see Seki trying to grapple. I think probably Dautbek is much more better at that than Seki offers. Falling Star, I know you asked about the Super Rizin in terms of MMA. We did that at the beginning, so when this is over or whenever, you can just fast forward to the beginning and we talk about that. I think there's Dautbek to win. I really do. I think he's going to finish this in the first or second round. He's going to knock out this poor fella.
Go Dautbek in the second round, but I'm saying like Seki definitely has a chance, but he's got to fight a perfect fight.
And also, I've just had his fights have not been the most exciting. Like the Endo fight, I don't remember anything. That was like the one bad fight on that Sapporo card, I believe. And then the Nakahara fight, I don't remember anything. I don't remember the Horiguchi fight as well. I remember Poirier knocking him out. I remember that. I don't even remember the Konda fight. That was from all the pandemic era, so that's why I don't remember that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And to be fair, that oh my god, the Nakahara fight was on really short notice, if I remember right.
I think you're right. I think you're right about that. You asked about his top right still active. Good question. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe when Kyoji retires, or I don't know, maybe after this fight, maybe he'll start putting on more fights. Hopefully, it's a good promotion. I like it. They also upload the kids fights, which are funny. I don't know why I find kids, like little children fighting in MMA, very funny for some reason. Gomede says that Seki almost found his way onto Road FC. Well, that's because I believe Shu is still his manager, who has much more access than a lot of other guys. So I don't think he would have done good on Road the FC potentially. Maybe that's why he's on there, because that's one of the ways to get in Rizin is to be eliminated from Road UFC. So maybe just his one almost stint with Road to UFC is the reason why he got booked on this card potentially. We're going to move on. I think this fight will be a very exciting fight. Spike Carlyle, the Alpha Ginger, taking on Kyung-pyo Kim, the Red Horse. And I just realized that now. It's the Alpha Ginger versus the Red Horse. I should have realized that weeks ago. Anyway, what do you think about this fight, Mike? Will we be seeing red from either one?
Yes and no.
Oh, yes. Where's the yes and where's the no? Who's the yes?
I don't think they'll be bleeding. I'll put it to you like that. But both of them are nickname red. So
yeah. Oh, good point. Good point. Well, how do you see this fight going then?
I'm not sure, because both of them are solid in everything. But I will say the momentum is with Kim. He's coming off, what was it, a 20-something second knockout of Tural Ragimov at the Rizin Azerbaijan show.
Oh yeah, just went right through him, yeah. And
then beat Patrick Usami, who I think is a good prospect. And then Spike has lost his last 3 fights.
Yeah.
So the momentum is there. I think Spike is solid in everything, but I think Kyung-pyo Kim is just better in every aspect. So I think Kim will win by decision.
Interesting. Well, so let's see. Oh, on. So many people talking on. I remember his fight with Reiki Endo being the potential fight at night. Rizin will die. I think you might be misremembering that.
No, he dropped, but I know because Reiki Endo got dropped 5 times. I think it was 4 times, whatever it was. I remember it now. That was a decent fight.
LMJVG says, "Is it average prep for Japan fight 2 months?" Some people take fights on a week's notice in Japan. Yeah, there's no set average as far as I know.
It's not like boxing. Sorry to interrupt, Andrew, but it's not like boxing where if you don't have 6-8 weeks to prepare, then they usually don't.
Yeah, the JMOC is very very progressive and liberal with letting fights happen, perhaps more often than they should. But again, so does it happens in the UFC as well. Remember when Michael Bisping had the fight with what's his name?
I don't.
Let's see. City Life Project says he got Kim and Spike's gonna get KO for the first time. Interesting thing, yeah. Spike's never been finished in any of his fights. It's interesting because Spike. I could see. Who'd you pick, Mike? I forgot.
My decision.
Yeah, this fight is a real tough fight to pick. I think. Here's the thing: if Spike fights like he's been doing in his first fight in Rizin was great, immediately taps out Koji Takeda like that easily. He has a Satoshi fight. He thinks he won that. And then the Poirier fight, he had that. If you want to count the McKee fight in Bellator as well, because that was also after that fight, after the first fight I mentioned. It's very hard. It's very hard to but Kim, like you said, he has a momentum.
You can say what you want about Tural Ragimov as an opponent, but still, you blitzed him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But then, and I think definitely the people that Spike has been facing are harder opponents.
Agreed.
But the way that, but Kim, it's not to say that Kim hasn't fought anybody. I mean, he's fought. I mean, we can see his. Yeah, he's fought. He fought Armin Sarukian. Oh, I didn't even know that. It didn't even get finished. But interesting. That's one of those things. Like I just didn't even realize that till now.
Testament to him.
Yeah, I don't. It's a. Let's see. He lost. He beat. Let's go to Yamashita, who I don't think is a good fight. He beat. He beat Rio as well. I didn't know that. Beat Fedor Toffanelli. Huh. I with the way that Spike has been fighting. Oh man. I think this might go all 3 rounds, and we might have a very close split decision. I think.
Could be. I like I said, I think better in a little bit better in every aspect, but we will have to wait and see.
I have to. If I'm betting, I have to pick Kim by a very close split decision. I think. Spike right now is training in Thailand. He's in Phuket, excuse me. At Bangto. Bangto. I forgot what they call it. And right now, so he's off training in California for this. I don't know where is Kim? Is he at the road gym or is it with? I forgot which.
I'm not sure. Legit not
is
sure.
Your MMA story? I never heard of that promotion either. I also don't know if that's accurate because Tapology is so incredibly inaccurate with these things. I'm gonna have to pick Kim by a very close split decision. I know City Life, Isha, you said that Spike's gonna get finished for the first time. He's a guy who gets stronger, I think, if you try to finish him. The fights where he gets close to being finished, he gets stronger.
He gets more aggressive.
Yes, yeah. The fact that he was in a full triangle, Satoshi got him in a full triangle and couldn't even tap him out, and he didn't tap out, was like, wow. That shows his toughness. That was like insane.
Yeah, he's a solid fighter.
Yeah, absolutely. I think though, listen, I'm looking forward to Spike's entrance, and I'm also looking forward to this being a potential fight night. Well, we'll have to see. Oh man, there's so many comments. Let me just quickly go for these, then we'll go on to the next fight. Falling Star says, "Do you think The Rock will visit Rizin to help promote his MMA movie in Japan?" Probably not. I don't think so.
So they'd have to pay him out the wazoo to get him to show.
Rock doesn't do anything for free. I think I'll tell you that for a fact. Here's another interesting thing about The Rock. So this is what I've been told is that if you want to get a picture of him, if you're wearing a competing brand that he's not affiliated with or whatever, they'll give you a shirt of like whatever. What's that energy drink that he's like that he?
I can't remember.
That or something else.
Under Armour.
No, that's that energy drink.
If someone say had Nike and since I think he's affiliated with Under Armour, isn't he?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, because he's very protective of his image. Very, very, very protective of his image. Also, I don't know if there'll be enough water bottles as well for him to use, and if he has to hold it in for quite a while. Look up that story. It's a very disgusting story.
It's the
Isha says love Spike, but Kim is about to go on a fucking run. The other thing is, don't forget, Kim is coming back from an ACL injury, I think, right?
Yes.
He's coming back from a knee injury as well.
He's coming back from a knee injury. Who was he supposed to? I forgot who was
Yachi. He was supposed to destroy Yachi.
Yeah, that's right. That's why Yachi took the fight in France.
Yeah. So I don't know the extent of that injury. When I hear knee injury, that could be pretty bad, but we'll have to wait and see how he performs. Isha says this is a people's main event. Well, pretty much true. Kim too good on the ground for Spike to out wrestle him. Kim going to keep it on the feet, I think. Let's see. LMJVG has a question. Who do you think is the second best fighter to fight in Japan all time? Since you said in Japan, I'm not going to relegate it to just Japanese fighters. Second best. Sometimes it's easy to think of the first, but second. Mike, please think of an answer while I think.
Who's the first in your opinion? Fedor?
Oh, Fedor. The best to fight in Japan. Second? That's a tough one.
Ooh. Are we talking about MMA.
Oh, and he said other than Fedor. Well, I wouldn't keep him as a second. Okay, so yeah, let's keep it to MMA. I'm gonna go out and just based on like how they fought, I have to say Sakuraba probably.
If we're talking about in terms of the second best fighter to fight in Japan all time, I'm gonna go Anderson Silva.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. But he has those two weird losses.
Right. I'm talking about in totality in their careers.
Gotcha. Okay, that's fair. I think Sakuraba though has like such a huge pedigree, particularly with his wins as well.
Oh, absolutely. That's Horiguchi.
Yeah. Oh, that's an even better. That's even better one. I'm gonna have to probably go back. I'm sorry. I erased that. I never said Sakuraba. I'm gonna say Horiguchi probably.
Like, I've actually had this debate with my twin brother. I think Horiguchi's the greatest Japanese fighter of all time. He thinks it's Sakuraba, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Listen, I got no problem with Sakuraba, but now that you say Horiguchi, I'm like, no, that's probably because since he's returned back to Japan, his one loss has been that Kai fight.
Yes,
but he won every other fight before that,
and he won in what 2 minutes, if that, in a rematch.
Yes, yeah.
So I'm just saying,
and he put up a good. Remember the tension fight was a very close fight.
It was. Yeah, Kyoji was a live dog. That was a feather in his cap, I think. Because tension.
What I'm going to say Kyoji. Thank you for correcting me on that. I feel less embarrassed. Sakuraba is still one of my favorites, though.
Oh, Sakuraba is my favorite fighter of all time. It's just that I think Kyoji's resume is deeper. That's all.
Rizin will die. What character do you want Spike to cosplay as? I don't know.
He's done Sora. Cloud would be a little lazy, I think. How about Rean Schwarzer from the Trails series?
Does he even know the Trail series? I don't even know if he knows the Trail series.
I'm saying like they just had the Northumbria chapter come out on mobile a few days ago, so that was what came to mind.
I don't know, maybe something from Sword Art Online. I have no idea. Oh, he could also come out as a wrestler though. He came out as Hulk Hogan a while ago. Was that for Bellator? I think it was. I think it was for Bellator.
But yeah, I'm maybe something from Trails. I don't know, something like that.
Luke Zimmerman says title eliminator for this fight. I don't know because if Spike has lost his last few fights.
Adel Christian, the Ease series. He's a ginger.
Oh, maybe. City. Isha says Wanderlei.
No. No.
Top 10, maybe top 15.
Yeah, top 10, I think. But Vanderlei had a lot of like that second. But that second part of the last couple of years of his career,
not to mention he unofficially lost to a Felony Bennett in the back. So I still have to hold that he got knocked out by Felony Bennett at whatever show that was.
Vanderlei is better than Sakuraba, yes, but in terms of totality, I still think it's Horiguchi. But if Krokop is very underrated.
Yeah. I was saying Krokop, but then I thought about the Randleman fight, and I thought about the two. I thought about the what was it? The Nogueira fight.
Nogueira's another one.
Yeah, the Nogueira fight, and then the two Fedor fights.
Yeah, Shogun is another one. I think. We could have a discussion about this all damn day.
Oh God, yeah. Ichi says Horiguchi is the most skilled Japanese fighter of all time. Best quality win. Sakuraba was much more influential, but lost half his high-profile fights. It's not about the record. It's about how you fight. Sorry, go ahead.
To be fair to Sakuraba, he was way above his best weight class. He should have been a welterweight from the beginning, not middleweight, not light heavyweight, not heavyweight when he fought Mirko.
How about a Dragon Ball Z character to pay tribute to Toriyama? Oh, that's interesting. Okay, that's fine.
I can see that.
City Life says Krokop crushed cans. That's true. He should have beat.
But I do think when he had to step up, he did.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he absolutely did.
The reason they put him in with so many fighters was because he was a huge draw, and they wanted to they wanted to sell tickets. Like if I remember right, Bushido 4 wasn't selling until he fought Shungo Oyama.
Yeah. And then of course his run in the Grand Prix 06 and the Rizin Grand Prix. Yeah, it's definitely up for debate. What if we're doing just Japanese? If you're just saying Japanese, I think you can maybe put Horiguchi as number one. I don't know about number two for Japanese at this point. I have to think about that. If you're just saying who fought in Japan, I think it's obviously Fedor number one. I think I still pick Horiguchi as number two. I have to say.
Depends on the criteria, but I do think Anderson Silva just because of the totality of his career.
Yeah, no, that's still,
UFC
champion. I just, oh my God. Do you think that all that it could be Pacquiao versus Silva?
No, I don't think so because Silva's too big. Not to mention he would cost too much.
These are exhibition fights. They don't matter.
That's true.
They don't matter. Falling Star, what do you want Rizin to do if they get 1 million buys? They have for Super Rizin 3 come. I think I get your question. But what would you want to do? Well, I mean, get sign fighters that are up and coming from all over the world. I want to see them get some former UFC guys. I want them to get fighters from Eastern Europe. Let's get some Dagestani fighters. I want to see how these Dagestani fighters really do when they have to worry about getting kicked in the face when they try to wrestle. That's what I really want to see.
Sign more young Japanese fighters. There's definitely plenty of good prospects out there.
Yes, and especially because here's the thing is, well, here, now that you're losing a lot of these Japanese fighters who go to UFC in general, I think you got even to look outside Japan for high caliber fighters in Eastern Europe, in Europe in general. You got them. You still got people that are like Jiris. You still have people like Shaydullaev, who we'll be talking about later. There's still these fighters out there, and one of the best things about Rise of the Past was when they would just find these fighters, and you knew these guys were the fucking real deal. So I want to see more of that.
They will. I mean, they have to work within a budget more so than UFC, and they only have a finite amount of spots because they only have 8-10 events a year.
Something like that, yeah. They might do more. Hopefully not like a weekly thing. Isha says Vochenko is way better than Krokop. Krokop's one of the most overrated fighters of all time. Can't stand him. We will not go down that. I do not want to go down that potentially dangerous.
I agree to disagree with all due respect.
Fair enough. Okay, let's continue on. Rizin 47. We got this is a little bit of an interesting one. We got Koji Takeda taking on Razhabali Shaydullaev. Funny enough, Koji Takeda is going down. He's now featherweight for this fight, while Shaydullaev is going up for this fight, 145. Yeah. Interesting. Very interesting. Shaydullaev is maybe, dare I say, is he the best prospect right now that people should look forward to? Or am I exaggerating?
He's definitely one of them. I mean, 10-0, 10 KOs, I believe it is.
I think he's finished at least all of his fights, I believe. Let's double check on that. Yes, I believe he has finished all of his fights. Yes, here we are.
Yeah, also beat Ji Young Yang, so he's beaten at least one legit guy.
Yes. He was supposed to be in that tournament as well that I think that Road was supposed to do. It didn't work out. Oh, did he miss weight or something? Or
I don't remember, honestly. But like I said, he did he beat Ji Young Yang handily, and he looked pretty good doing it.
And he's faced pretty much let's be honest, a lot of these guys from Eastern Bloc, a lot of the records are padded unofficially, but he's actually fought five, like you said, Ji Young Yang, who was undefeated at the time, Magomed Al Abdullah 12-1-1 while he was 8-0, Islam Babatov, who was 6-3, Asvad Akhmadov 6-5. So he's fought legitimate competition, ACA, Road, UAE. And the crazy thing as well, he's only 23, I believe. Yeah, 23 from Tajikistan originally. Now fighting out of Kyrgyzstan. Okay, that's a Kyrgyzstan fight. I just want to make sure. And then we got Takeda. This guy is he's for people who haven't seen him ever, you're gonna love this guy when he fights. I think he's gonna look great in Takeda. Long-time rising guy, former deep featherweight champion.
I thought he was deep lightweight.
Sorry?
I thought he was deep lightweight.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. My brain is Yeah, lightweight champion. Yeah. First a fighter who I was not a fan of. Then he started really putting on exciting fights. Most recent win was against Kyoji Hagiwara. And a fight that I think, I don't think he looked his greatest. He won it, but I think I don't know, maybe the weight cut has something to do with it. Also got knee in the balls pretty darn hard, and had I think he took the full 5 minutes almost.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mike, Bloviate. What do you think? How do you think this fight will go?
Well, I did get the chance to see I can't pronounce Shaydullaev.
Yeah, Shaydullaev.
Shaydullaev. Okay, I saw the fight with Ji Young Yang. Number one, he's fast and he can punch, like he has a damn good right hand. He can punch really hard. I think his defense he's a little wild at times, and I think his defense isn't great because Ji Young Yang was able to hit him with the left a few times, and Takeda definitely has some decent stand-up in my opinion. But he is a very good wrestler, and he's obviously got good submissions. Whereas Takeda, I think he's a damn good obviously a damn good wrestler. He's a southpaw, and he's got a iron chin. He's only stopped one time, I believe, by Tofik. In his last lightweight fight before he moved down, and he's also the naturally bigger guy. So I'm curious as to how much power Shaydullaev is going to bring up from bantamweight.
It's very interesting because I feel like a lot of fighters who go down, I think they get knocked out more quite often. Like Dillashaw when he went down to 125. Mm-hmm. When BJ Penn, I know he was at the end of his career when he went down to 145. But yet Shaydullaev is going up. I think this is his first fight at featherweight, if I'm correct. So if he's doing this stuff at bantamweights, imagine what he could do at featherweight when he's not cutting as much. I think that I have to agree with Isha. Takeda looked awful in his last fight against someone with no grappling. That's the thing. You expect Takeda to have easily subbed Hagiwara in like one round. Hagiwara has lost to people who are lesser grapplers than Takeda. Like Suzuki tapped him out. Dominator Yamatsu tapped him out. And yet Takeda, who's got numerous submissions on his record, couldn't even do that to Hagiwara. I mean, getting knee in the balls also hurt, may have inflicted that in the weight cut. So, but man, no, listen. While Luke, he brought he mentioned that he looked good against Rabanadov at the Bellator versus Rizin show. I don't think Shaydullaev. I think he's going to overwhelm Takeda. I don't see the staple Takeda suplex in this fight. I think Shaydullaev is going to blitz him on the feet. He's not. Takeda's with that weight cut might be more susceptible to being knocked down or knocked out. And I don't know if he'll sub him, but I think Shaydullaev is going to finish this. I think he's going to finish Takeda by round 2. I don't know if the way that he looked in that last fight, especially getting tired. Again, the knee in the balls, was a factor. But I don't know, like when you're going down to that weight, when you've been fighting 155 your entire time, maybe he'll look better. But I just don't see it.
We'll find out soon enough. I mean, there are times where fighters, they move down in weight, they struggle because they're not used to it, but the second time they know what they have to do this time and how to properly manage their bodies, and they don't lose as much like muscle, and they're not as spent and all that type of thing. So we'll see.
I have to picture Shaydullaev. And I watch. He gets knocked down in 20 seconds by Takeda, and I look like a total idiot. But yeah, no, I have to pick Shaydullaev.
I'm going to pick Shaydullaev too by knockout in the second. But like I said, I did think he was a little wild with his striking, and Takeda does have a good left hand. So
he does. But I just can't see Takeda taking down this guy. I think this guy might be the best prospect that has not signed to a big promotion up until now. So
Takeda's best shot is to outwork him.
Yes. Since I want to see like has he ever made? Let's see if Shaydullaev has ever been past like. It looks like he's never been to the third round. That might be the best way that he can beat Shaydullaev is to try to get him into that third round if he can.
Waters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smash that like button, guys. Yes, please smash the like button. Smash it. Do they do 5 rounds in Japan, or is it still 3 for title fights? Still 3 for title fights. So it's funny. They do for BKF, for bare knuckle fights, they do the 5 rounds, which is ridiculous. They need to start doing the 10 minutes. 10-minute first round, 5 minutes second round for title fights, in my personal opinion.
Did you do full on Pride, which was 10, 2 5s?
No. Yeah, what was that, sorry?
Would you do what Pride did, which was 110, 2 5s?
Yeah, oh yeah, that I would do that. If not, at least one. Well, that'd be 2 rounds. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's what I meant to say. 10, 5, 5.
Because if I remember right, Dream did 110, 1 5.
No, because then that's 2 rounds, and that's too many shenanigans.
I think that's what Dream did.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha. Thank you very much, Isha. Your show is also great, and you'll be doing a live stream of it this weekend, Rizin 47. Make sure to check out City Lights Project channel and follow along with him when he does the watch along. I haven't decided if I'm going to do a watch along. I always feel like I'm going to do this, and then I'm like at the last minute, I'm like, do I really want to do this? But maybe. Do you think Rise is the last frontier in terms of business, getting back network TV in Japan and get that massive contract? That's what UFC has over the promotion. The ESPN contract worth hundreds of millions. I don't know. I don't think at this point. Will they take a network contract? I think absolutely, yeah. But they seem to be doing well. You know, the Beema thing is working. Unext is working. Their Rise Live is working. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they would. I don't think it's necessary, and I don't think that they necessarily because the whole question was when they lost the TV deal, how are they going to get things out there? How are people going to know about them? But they've been able to do that on social media and other ways. It's been. The Polish guy who we'll be talking later. He filmed there was a Rise commercial and the subway that was running. So yeah, I mean they're doing pretty well without terrestrial television so far. Mike,
it would certainly help. I mean, that's for sure. I mean, I think that if they can build some new Japanese stars, yeah, I think they have a shot. But also, I think I'm blanking on the term, but the main issue is who's the CEO.
Yeah. I mean, also, here's the other thing as well. They're still in the ticket selling business. Tickets still matter to them. Actually, Kobe Day, 13 people watching, good numbers. Thank you. Do you happen to know if the 47 show is sold out? I don't believe it is, but can you let us know if it is or close to being sold out? Because I know you always find that stuff. They're still in the business of selling tickets. That's still what matters. That still is number one to them. That's how most things in Japan are. New Japan, All Japan, Deep is the selling tickets. The streaming stuff is secondary. It helps, is another revenue stream, but selling tickets is still number one. So as long as the shows are doing good, I think, and they're doing good on a Beema, Unext, from what I'm told, network TV is not necessary at this point. Actually, you brought up following stars. You said ESPN. If they somehow if they got on ESPN, that would probably be bigger for them outside internationally than even getting a terrestrial television thing, in my opinion. So, Komede says 47 is not sold out. Supervisor looks like it's sold 30,000 plus tickets already. Do you know how many tickets 47 sold by any chance? If you don't know, that's all good. But yes, how excited are we that we got KSW Rizin potential collaborations now? Well, is that the next fight? Yeah, we'll go right into that because we have to correct some misinformation out there. Mikio Ueda taking on, how do you pronounce the first name again?
I think it might be Przemysław. I don't. Kowalczyk.
This is why initially Daniel was going to be on, Daniel Dizabeki, because I just needed him to pronounce this one name. That's the reason why I was going to have him on. But his last name is pronounced Kowalczyk. So, or you could go to call him Cool.
How about PK?
PK. Oh, that's actually pretty cool. So yeah, just to let you know, Kowalczyk is not with KSW. As far as I know, he is not signed. I don't know where that came from. He's still with Cave Fights.
I think that's what the promotion was that he fought in last year.
Yeah. So he is, as far has he been offered, has been told by K1, hey, if you win your fight, well, you'll sign with us. I have no idea. But he is not a K1. He's not a K1. Excuse me. He's not a KSW fighter at this time, to my knowledge. Mikio Ueda though is a K1 fighter. Has fought in K1 before and has been on a tear since getting knocked out by the master of the butterfly guard, TK Tsuyoshi Kosaka. I gotta ask, how do you think this fight will go, Mike? I think this fight only ends in one way, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, it's gonna be a knockout. I'm not sure. I did look up some of PK's highlights. I mean, he's big. He can punch. He fought. You know who he fought, so you can't really say. Whereas Ueda beat a pretty decent fighter in Sudario. So we know that his striking, being a Kyokushin world champion, is pretty damn good. So I would say he's got the edge striking wise. You would think that he's got the grappling advantage, especially because I believe he's had like 20-ish amateur fights.
Kowalczyk?
Yeah.
Oh yes, because he did the Polish AMI thing, kind of like whatever the IMMAF thing that they have been going.
Like the Ukrainian girl did.
Yes, yeah.
Anastasia Sevitskiska, or however you.
Yeah. Their records are very close. They're virtually identical, as Mike Goldberg would say. This fight, almost close in age, almost close in height. Surprisingly, though, Mikio Ueda weighs more apparently.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
I thought Polish Hammer Kowalczyk would have weighed more. I don't know. I just think he just looks bigger. Anyway, first round knockout. You think?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Ueda. I just think the technical precision with his striking will be too much.
J Wolf crush pronunciation. Good for him. I didn't my paying attention in Polish class was non-existent because I never did. KSW contract pending from what I heard. Is that pending if he wins or pending until after his fight? Because as far as I know, like nothing is I didn't hear about pending Isha, but I could be wrong. This is going to be awesome. Poland gets in the pocket. Ueda is cooked. If Ueda keeps it on the outside, Poland is done. That's the thing, though. Ueda's striking is for a guy he's very fluid for a guy who's a heavyweight. That knee he did to Sudario kind of was a thing of beauty. It was great.
He did look pretty good against KG in his 1K1 fight.
Yeah. But KSK's that was let's be honest.
KG's pretty small and he's a blown up cruiser, but still.
Yeah. So, I mean, these guys haven't fought the best of the best for the most part. They're still early in their careers. Man, though, I think Ueda striking is just something that is so not unorthodox, but that karate thing, that karate stuff he does, and I think it's something that a lot of fighters normally don't, especially at heavyweights.
Yeah,
where heavyweights I don't want to say they kind of just throw.
There's a lack of technique. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah, because they're heavyweights. They don't really need technique, but he's got that. He's got that technique with kicks, knees, punches. Polish power. I think he's just got the power. I think. I don't know so much about the technique, so yeah, I'm gonna have to pick Mikio Ueda first round knockout. I'm gonna make a parlay and even say high kick. What do you think, Mike?
I'm with you on that one. Like I said, I just think his karate technique is too precise.
Pending if Sakaki Barros decides to offer him a heavyweight title, if he offers who? Sorry, I'm confused. Offers if Rizin makes or if Sakakibara offers to send Ueda to KSW, then I'm sorry, I'm just clarify that, Isha. Yes, let's hopefully watch us both be wrong, and this becomes a grapple fest for 3 rounds.
Well, hopefully not.
I hope not. No, I'm just saying I hope not. We're going to go on to the co-main, a fight that really nobody... Did I even add that fight? Oh, no, there it is. A fight that I would say that not a lot of people asked for. I'm a little bit more interested now after listening to Jay Krish and Jay Wolf talk about it on their preview show. There's also there's the whole weight missing thing, which is kind of funny that they both missed weight in some of the recent fights at different weight classes, though. But yeah, we got Kleber Koike, the submission machine, that the insane 28 wins by submission, taking on Juan Archuleta, who, in fairness, this is not his first fight at featherweight. He has fought at featherweight before. I think a bunch of his fights in Bellator were at featherweight, if I'm correct.
They may have been. I don't remember, honestly.
Let's see. City Life Fox is Polish guy, really good boxer. And then I watched all of his fights in prep. Well, you didn't have to watch a lot to watch if you watched only his pro stuff because there's only 3 and they ended pretty quick. I'm still picking Ueda, though. I still have to pick Ueda. Luke says, Arch's style is tailor-made to stifle Kleber's game. Here's the thing, man, we say that now, but, like, how many guys have, like, they've been, with Saito fight that just happened on New Year's Eve? He was pretty much, he was on the way to beating Kleber, but the problem is that Kleber's is
so slick.
I don't like it. I think actually I would even go as far as I think his MMA jiu-jitsu is better than Satoshi's, I think, in my opinion. That's
I'm not it's very close.
It's very close, yeah. Now Juan has fought, he beat, maybe the best bantamweight, one of the best bantamweights in the world, Patchy Mix, who didn't submit him. Patchy Mix has submitted almost everybody. He's defeated people like, I'm not going to count Ugobu as like this world-class guy, but Inoue, who's known for submitting people. Let's see.
Had a lot of trouble.
Yeah. He's defeated people but the problem, even if you are beating, unless your striking is really good, I don't know if Juan's striking can be on that level that he makes, that he can keep Kleber reeling on the back step.
Yeah.
Kleber could just on his let's see, Luke sorry, there's so much going on. Kleber is deeply unserious off his back as the fight goes on. Got smushed by Kanehara. But that's because Kanehara has such he's I don't want to say that he's never dealt with a grappler like Kleber, but he also knows how to MMA grapple. And I think he also didn't put himself in positions where Kleber could get him, could potentially submit him. That's the thing that Kleber does a lot, is that he will he will, if he's on his back, if you get to pass his guard is very hard. Or actually, I'll take it back. I don't think it's hard to pass his guard because I think he kind of does that to lull people into a sense of false security. And then he'll try to work off his back to get back in the guard and use the submission that way. But the problem, Kanehara is such a veteran, and he trains with Tokuro. He trains with, I think, what's his name? Imanari. He trains with some of the best. So these are, he was fully prepared. Is Archuleta going to be prepared for how strong Kleber's jiu-jitsu is? I don't know. I really don't. If he fights like the way that he did against Kai, I think he can maybe beat him on the feet at least. You can't try to take him down because that is just opening up a can of worms for you could be potentially bad for you. Sorry, Mike, I talked so much. I want you to go ahead and talk about this fight.
I agree with everything you said. I do think that Archuleta has the style to stifle Kleber, but he's got to fight a perfect fight. He has to fight a perfect fight. And And no, I was going to say one mistake, over.
Yeah.
He does not have the submission, like the MMA grappling, to do what Kanehara did. He's got to fight him. He's got to do ground and pound and make and discourage Kleber.
Yeah, listen, if there's one thing that I think Kleber went back to. Did he go to ATT? I'm trying to remember if he went to ATT for this.
Sure,
camp.
but I believe he came to America, correct?
Yeah, I think he went back to ATT for the prepare for his fight or Bangkok. I think I can't remember which one. I know because remember for the press conference he was at the airport. He was leaving for somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was. I was just going to say Juan is a very good wrestler, but his MMA grappling, I would say, is not as profound as Kanehara's is in terms of the depth of submission experience.
I think it will be interesting to see how Juan does going back to featherweights after all this time.
Yes, another thing, and because I would say Kleber's probably the naturally bigger guy.
Well, yeah, let's see. Well, let's see if Kleber misses weight. I don't think he will, but it'd be funny if he misses weight. It'd be funny if they both miss weight. Just like some weird anomaly, they just both miss weight. Well, I wonder what happens though. Since can anybody tell us what happens if both fighters miss weight? Obviously, there can't be a winner because it's a no contest. I want to see that happen just once and see how Rizin deals. They just cancel the fight, or they let them fight and they just say whoever wins is still a no contest. I'm really curious to see how this fight goes. To see that scenario play out. Sorry, Isha. I know you said a lot about PDF going to Rizin. I know that he's fought everybody in KSW, and yeah. Listen, it would be great to see him in Rizin. It would be great, maybe he should face the, Sudario at some point or Mikio Ueda if Ueda wins. Maybe
Shibasai.
Or Shomo Shibasai, yeah, where I don't know where he's disappeared off to. He's disappeared. Isha says, I got Juan in this one, but it's super close. Can't make a mistake like you guys said. Absolutely. Luke says catch weight usually. Not sure if that's ever happened in Japan. I really got to find out. Now I'm really curious. I got to see if this has ever happened where two fighters miss weight. That's like racking my brain right now. Who'd you pick to win, by the way, Mike?
I don't think I said anything, actually.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm going to go with Kleber by submission, third round.
I'm going to say the same thing, too. I think Juan's going to make a mistake, either consciously or subconsciously, and Kleber's going to lock on something. Stars, guillotine, triangle.
His submission arsenal is so diverse. Like I said, like we both said, you literally have to be perfect.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You have to do what Gamrot did in KSW, or you have to do what Kanehara did, or you have to do Pitbull, where you just keep it on the feet the entire time.
And I don't think and another thing Kleber's stand-up has improved quite a bit. And he can punch. He can really punch.
He's not afraid to strike with people who are I guess I shouldn't say subpar, but are not like a Pitbull type striker.
Yeah, you are correct on that, and I don't think Juan is, but we will.
Oh no, I don't think he is either. Juan is a guy who takes his time in his fights, as we've seen throughout most of his career. He for good reason. He can weather the storm. He's got good cardio. He'll probably be nice and well rested at 145 as well. By the way, I think Tapology incorrectly had this at like 135. Let me double check if they still have it there. Yeah, they listed this fight as bantamweight, and I was like, when I first saw it, I was like, am I crazy? No, but this fight is at featherweight, which is that'd be crazy if they made this at bantamweight. I don't know if Kleber could even make that.
No, I doubt 140.
Yeah, no, not at all. Anyway, main event, non-title, Gucci versus Pettis 2. First time Gucci was winning, then got the flash KO in the fourth round. I was there for that, and we all jumped out of our seats. Couldn't believe it. I know Jay Wolf on Jay Chris's show, Focus Fights, said that it was a fluke knockout. I can't call it a fluke knockout. Ren Hiramoto actually taught him that technique. That's what he said in the post-fight press conference after that fight. A flash knockout, I don't know, or a fluke knockout, I don't know how to define that, but that was, in my opinion,
it's just a perfect shot.
Yes, Yeah, absolutely. It was all technique. Anyway, thoughts on this fight, Mike? How do you think this fight will go?
I love it. I love this. I saw the first fight, as you said, Kyoji was winning. I thought pretty convincingly, but it was competitive. I think he's a better striker than Pettis. I think he's a better fighter overall than Pettis. But is that knockout going to affect Kyoji psychologically, and is he going to be gun shy? That's my big question.
Did you happen to see the confessions video where he was where?
I did not.
Oh, okay. Where apparently UFC was not interested, which I was saying when re-signing him, which I said that 1,000 times because it's not in UFC's interest to re-sign the best fighters who are killing it.
Not to mention the purses it'll cost.
That, and also because I like seeing him in Rizin.
Absolutely.
That's selfish.
So if that's the case, then why would Kai sign there if they lowballed Horiguchi when they do the same to him?
I have no idea. Maybe Kai is not. Maybe Kai will makes enough from his YouTube and his sponsors and all that he doesn't have to worry about fight purses.
Maybe. Just throwing it out there because
Kyoji has a hot wife. Yeah, he's got that, but I don't know if Kai has as hot of a wife. Actually, similarly, they both got married just recently. Kyoji obviously at New Year's proposed to his wife, and then Sergio got married a few weeks ago. So both married men, both rematching, both former flyweight fighters, both former bantamweight champions of Bellator. Surprised they never fought at Bellator.
Kyoji, the rising flyweight champion.
Yep, that too as well. Yes, he's the current rising flyweight champion. Also, this fight is interesting because they are both. So obviously, Pettis is still signed at Bellator. Gucci is also signed at Bellator. So technically, this is a Bellator versus Bellator fight. They Barra on Holani said that they had to ask Bellator to borrow Horiguchi. So that's interesting. Very, very, very interesting. I mean, we also got in a ring, and it's 3 rounds.
Yes.
Pettis also got to Japan early to acclimate, so he's not getting there like 4 days beforehand. And looks like he's training with Ren Hiramoto, back to training with Ren Hiramoto, and obviously Gucci's with ATT, Mike Brown, all those guys.
Yes.
Man, it's a fucking tough one, man. I just want, you ever sometimes wonder, like, if Horiguchi, if like Pettis is that one fighter can always, like, there's always that, like Mike Brown with Uriah Faber, always beat him. Like, some fighters just always beat, like, who you presume would be the better fighter. And I was going to
say, I have a couple of examples. There was Shane Mosley, Vernon Forrest. Mosley was a better fight. Mosley, Winky Wright. In boxing, Willie Pep and Sandy Sadler going way back in boxing. So just some fighters have the other's number. I mean, it just, the style is wrong. Just, it could be a whole host of things.
I apologize. I know you gave a prediction. Can you repeat it again? Because I forgot it already.
I didn't.
Oh, that's why. Okay, go ahead. Tell me how you see this fight going.
I'm going to go Horiguchi by decision. I think, like I said, I think he's the better fighter overall. I think he'll correct the mistake from the first fight. I think he'll stay disciplined, use his awkward style, and I think he's faster and more technically sound, as I said, than Pettis, just by a little bit. And I think he'll win a decision.
Here's the thing. Horiguchi has not lost a rematch. As we said, with Kai, he's beaten Obi Kubo 100 times when they rematched. I'm trying to think of who else he's rematched. I don't think he's rematched. Oh, Caldwell, he fought twice, beat him both times.
Yes.
It's City Isha has the best example. Sorry, Isha, I see all of your comments about it not being about money and all that stuff. I get it. But it's also because UFC, this is not in their wheelhouse. They're not signing fighters who, it's just not. Flyweights also, they don't give a shit about flyweight. They never will. That's just also like the big elephant.
For obscure Brazil shows.
Yeah, exactly. Holloway versus Volk, a great example of someone who will. Well, I don't know. Maybe Holloway could beat Volk now, possibly. well, if they ever fight again. And you have a prediction. I got Kyoji going for the back again, the rear naked choke early. No BS, no playing with his food. I see that potentially happening, but Pettis is a hard guy to finish. I mean, Patchy fixed him, but that's because Patchy is fucking amazing. Pettis, I know he's also lost to what was his name? Who's the guy? Bruce Leroy, and
Bruce Leroy,
yes.
Alex Caceres.
Yes, he lost to him, and he submitted him, and that's kind of like but that's also kind of at the beginning of his career as well. That was flyweight, all that. I have to pick Horiguchi. I don't know if he's going to finish him, but I think Horiguchi's going to get this win back. I really do. And
better fighter. We'll see.
I think Horiguchi also is a smart fighter. He knows the mistakes he makes in the fights that he loses, and that's the thing. He was winning that fights pretty much, and then they got the big back fist KO, and also being 3 rounds, it's shorter, so less. I mean, I don't want to say there's less chance of it's less overall damage that could be potentially taken. So I think listen, do you think if Horiguchi wins, would you like to see a third match? Well, actually, would you like to see a third match regardless of what happens?
Well, if Pettis wins, then I don't see a point in the third fight, honestly.
Well, what about flyweights? What about a flyweight?
If Pettis can make weight, sure. I mean, but like, I'm not typically a fan of the third fight when you've already lost to someone twice. I don't like that, but I guess you could use the excuse that I guess Kyoji could say, I'm not a bantamweight at this point in my career. I'm a flyweight. I guess you could.
There's also the question of, is there anybody else at flyweight that Horiguchi could fight? So for the title.
Yes.
Who?
Tamarov.
Maybe. I would also argue Dodson, but Ogi Kubo fucked that up. And he's got his BKFC thing now.
Yes.
I think it's if you need a body, I think it's probably the best body you can possibly do. Just get a title defense in there for Gucci.
I would also say, dare I say, if he wins 1 or 2 more fights, just for the hell of it, why not put in him with Hiroya?
I don't know. Isha, what do you think about Hiroya versus Gucci for a title? I'll
put it to you like this. If someone earns the title shot, they earn the title shot.
They earn the title shot. I don't know if Hiroya's earned. He's got. I know he beat the Shudo champion, but also the Shudo champion fought like a few weeks later. That's still a win. Sorry, go ahead, Mike.
No, I was going to say, he fought a few weeks before. So how compromised was Joe Arai?
We'll also have to see how he does against Tokuro. Listen, Tokuro can still go, and there is a chance that he can still get submitted. Luke Zimmerman apologizes. Sorry, Mike. That would be a crime. He says.
No, but I'm saying that's kind of my point. Like, who else is there?
I got you. Also, he's got the Mikuru breaking down connections, and they always get free pass or anything. And I'm surprised, Isha. We were making fun of his record, of his under 500 record when I was on your show, and you're like, oh, he can give him a title shot. I don't know. Also, Horiguchi probably smashes him.
Right, but I'm saying, like, who you asked who else is there? Those are the only 2 I can think of off the top of my head that Horiguchi hasn't fought.
I got you. So we're actually coming to the end of the show. As always, 3 fights you're looking forward to, Mike.
Horiguchi, Pettis 2, Kleber and Juan, and then Tokudome versus Usami, because I like Patrick Usami a lot.
Gotcha. I got obviously Horiguchi versus Pettis. I think this fight's gonna be great. I got Carlyle versus Kyung-pyo Kim. I think that's gonna be the people's main event, as Isha said. Listen, I love to see. I'm happy that Shaydullaev is making his Rizin debut. I have no doubt he's going to be successful, but I love to see some big boys go at it. Ueda versus Kowalczyk, because we're guaranteed a knockout, I'm hoping. Anyway, Mike, Well, I mean, we have a way for people to reach you, but you're on the Rizin Discord, right?
Yep. Mike S. I keep it plain.
Yeah. So if people want to follow all that good stuff, I also recommend you listen to Jay Krish Gary's focus fights that he did with Jay Wolf earlier today. Isha, City Life Project. Sorry, I didn't make a banner for you because I got home pretty late, but people should subscribe to you because you got your thing with Jay Wolf tomorrow, and then you got your live stream that you'll be doing live watch along, and follow We Are Rizin Podcast and We Are Rizin Pod. Discord is Rizin FF. If you want to follow Jay Christian Gary as well, he's got his that's his Twitter/X, and he has a link tree for Focus Fights, which has all their ways to contact them and all that stuff. I think this show will be good. I think it's gonna 9 fights is good. More isn't always better. Jay Wolf, sorry to pick on you. This is a case of quality over quantity. I think it's gonna be a great show. I really do think we got a good amount of fights. And at least not 8 of them will be good. At least 8
to the point.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. No regional bullshit, no nothing like that. And thank you for everybody who tuned in. I really appreciate it. Isha, looking forward to your thing. Everybody who contributed, chatted, all that stuff. You want one last what was the last thing, Isha? I know you had to say, you said something before about
about Hiroya being peak level. I don't agree with that. I think he's higher than that now. I think being Joe Arai is a very good win for him, and being competitive with Yuki Ito as well. That's just my opinion.
There's something else you want to say, Isha. I think though Arai beats him in the rematch. Yes.
Still.
He predicts Musashi versus Tanabe at 1A, or asking. I think Tanabe will get a fight announcement, or they're gonna, because he's been training a lot. He's been sweating on the thing, the treadmill. I think maybe the rematch they're gonna try to do Kichi Kunamoto versus him again. They're gonna try to book that.
Musashi would cost a ton of money.
I don't see. Yeah, if it's also, I mean, yeah, I don't see that happening. I just don't see. It's not something I see Musashi doing at this point. I've also, it might be nice down the line, but I don't know if they're gonna want to put Fat Ninja, and even though he missed weight, put him there with somebody who's a very competitive fighter in that fight.
Yeah, they still
Musashi can beat him.
Oh, of course. I'm saying even at this point in his career, but I'm just going to say for Fat Ninja, they need to move him. They need to gradually move him.
Yes, yeah. Luke also says Musashi versus Fat Ninja, also a crime. Anyway, we gotta go, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Rizin 47 this weekend, this Saturday. Rizin.tv. Subscribe to it or buy it individually. Yes, we'll see you for the recap show sometime next week. Take care.
See ya.